Hi, so today I found a question on Facebook. So this person, Nick here, so he's mentioning that he's trying to manage a service delivery projects in Notion. So he created a project and task database and set up relationship between them. And then he's using this template to create new projects for new clients, which comes with all tasks pre-populated as per the template. Each task has a link to its SOP within Notion. So he mentioned that he wants to share like the client project page with clients where he or she can see the project status and task completion, but don't want them to see the associated SOP. So like basically for requirement 1, he kind of wants to hide the SOP. And then number 2, so when he shares the project page, he wants them to be not able to see the tasks of other people. So I can see how can I share them all at once, make sure they only see tasks related to their project shown on their project's page. So basically you want to have like a task list, right? So that they can only see the task that is assigned to their projects for that specific clients. And then last is like which Notion subscription would you need to achieve? So I'm going to answer one by one for today. So let me go to our first questions in terms of SOP, right? So for Nick, if you're watching this, like I'm not too exactly sure what's your structure on how you create an SOP, but this is one of examples of how you can actually do it. So here we have like the SOP 1, SOP 2, SOP 3. So this can be in the database, or you can even have like create as a page. So SOP 4, for example. So it's actually up to you like how you prefer it, but I would recommend just in the database since it's more organized. But to be honest, it can be anything. And then the next workaround things is that, so the idea is that you want to show the users the SOP, right? No, you don't want to show them SOP. You want to show it, I assume it's more for internal use. So here is, we have a task database here. So you mentioned like you have a pre-populated templates, right? So I assume like once you create a template and then you have like a task here, and then you might currently, what you're doing is probably using a link. So instead of using a link, what would I suggest is that you can just create SOP and then link it here directly. So if I click this, right, you see automatically you just bring me back to SOP 1. And then if I just return backspace, let's say I create task 4, right? So I can actually link it to, so alias. So SOP 4, you can see here, select it. So automatically it's just linked to SOP 4. But then people that do not have access to this, they wouldn't be able to see it. For internal use, you can just click it and you'll be able to see it. So that's one of the ways that I can think of how you can share it. So hope that makes sense. And then the second one probably kind of links to first as well. So when you want to share a project page with them, how they can see it but not the task. So you want to show tasks to only tasks to themselves, right? So unfortunately, you cannot have a, how should I call it, like a general database or task database that you can manage it for everyone. So like I imagine currently what you have, right, is probably a task database. Let me just create a very quick one just to show case it. Task, and then you probably have like a filter, right? You have like a relation roll up, but for simplicity's sake, I'll just do this. And then maybe like you have a roll up, right? So relation like client A, client B, client C, and you kind of filter around it so that you can separate it. But unfortunately for Notion, so there's no settings, at least at this moment, like to just share specific views to users. So let's say if I just filter this, right? Select A, and then I save it, and then I can lock it as well. So, and then even if you share this access as a view access to the users, so what would happen is that they can actually just go to filter and then just select this and they can see other people's relations. So they can select B, they can select A, D, E, F, G. So they can see all the different tasks, which I assume you don't want this to happen. So unfortunately, there's no way to have this centralized task database. So what can be done is, so I have created this template here, just for examples. So what can be done is you can have this template inside here, and then this task database inside the template itself. So what this means is just that every time we create a new project, so project 4, and then just click open, and then you have automatically have a new set of new tasks. You can just kind of complete it, and then you have your SOPs. So everything is still here. Of course, you do not have the centralized task database system that you're probably hoping for, but doing this way they will not be able to see other people's tasks, and then it's much easier to share. Basically, you can just open this page and then just click share, and then just click their email and then just share it to them. So this is how you can do it using this approach, which I highly recommend, and it's probably one of the limitations for Notion now, as it's a bit hard for them to I actually don't know why, but it's actually a known request that the filter, people want to have control on what they want to show, right? But it seems like Notion team is still trying to working on that. So for now, this is kind of the workaround. And then for number 3, also which Notion subscription would we need to achieve above? So I have this tutorial on, this guide on a video that I made on what plan should small business use. So essentially, it depends on how big is your team, right? If your team is 3 to 4 or 5, and then how many client base, I'm not sure. But just a quick walkthrough. So I'll link the video down below as well, so that you can go through it later if you want to be more in depth. But essentially, for Notion, there's something called Team Space, another called Guest. So if you're on a budget and you only have maybe a small team, right? And then you don't really share it to a lot of people, you can actually subscribe to the $8 plan. So I think money plan, so their pro plan. I think that's what it's called. So, and then you can actually invite your team members, so they can actually use free Notion plan. So you can just invite them as guests to your page, and then they will enjoy the same functionality as a paid plan. So, but this is provided that for $8, you get 100 guests. You say you can invite up to 100 people. If you want to have more, they actually need to upgrade your plan. I think next plan is I forgot what it's called. It's probably business plan or something. You can invite up to 250 people. So, but the limitations for this is that you can only invite up to 100. If you're a small business, you don't really have a lot of clients that need to have access, then you definitely can go by with this. Once you have more, your business gets bigger, you want more space, you can explore on using Team Space, which is they have an enterprise plan, a business plan, so that will be more different. But yeah, that's it for this one. So I hope this is helpful. So thanks for watching. If you like it, just subscribe. I do daily videos on explaining and helping people on the internet regarding Notion.